بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. أمسينا وأمسى الملك لله رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك خير هذه الليلة، فتحها ونصرها ونورها وبركتها وهداها، ونعوذ بك من شرها وشر ما فيها وشر ما بعدها. So we are still in the story of Talut, Saul, and we said that these stories are for us as Muslims till the day of judgment. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the best stories and He put them in His book, Al-Quran. So now we stopped yesterday that the children of Israel, they agreed now that Talut is the leader after all what we went through. So now Talut is a leader, by the way. And a leader is the one who knows his people very well, how much they can endure and this and that. So when they left the town, and after a while, and you know, at that time, as I said, people are walking, people without food, maybe they might have few rides here and there, so it's not easy. Then he told them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to test you with the river. Of course, many people, they might start asking which river. Allah didn't mention the name. Even though the river is the river of Jordan, but this river that most of the people fail to pass the test. This river, really, the reality of this river is the dunya. This river is the river of the dunya. So he said, and when Saul went forth with the soldier, he said, indeed, Allah will be testing you with a river. So whoever drinks from it is not of me, and whoever does not taste it is indeed of me, except in one who takes from it in the hollow of his hand. So as we said, a good leader is the one who gives clear instructions. There is no ambiguity. There is no like this. Exactly what he wants, he said it, and it must be clear, crystal in the mind of the people. So he says, there is a river in front of you. Anyone who drinks from it, he is not of me. What does it mean he is not of me? He should not follow me. He can go back. And whosoever does not drink from it, he is of me. He should stay with me. Then he gives exceptions. And this tells you the leadership of this man, great leader. Because not everybody is in the same level and the same endurance. So the exception is what? A sip of water. That's it. And subhanallah, even from health-wise, when you are so hungry and you are walking and this, don't drink a lot because it's not good for you. So what happened? Most of them, they drank from it. A lot. So these people are dropped. So as I said, he started with 80,000. And these people dropped a lot. فَشَرِبُوا مِنْهُ. The Quran said almost all of them drank from it. So what happened? Those who stayed with him moved. Here is another test. When they saw the enemies in front of them, now the fight didn't start yet, and they saw the army of the other side with the leadership of Goliath, Jalut, they got scared. And most of them said, we cannot fight this person. He's too big, he's too strong. So another people drops a lot. As one of the tabi'een, he said, those who stayed with him from the 80,000 are 314 or 17 people. Like the number of the Muslim in the time of Badr. the Battle of Badr, about 317 people. But the difference between the two stories, as I told you, subhanallah, Allah gave the stories of the children of Israel for the companions to learn lessons. And He gave us the two stories, the children of Israel and the companions. And guess what? Those who started with the Prophet ﷺ from the beginning are the same number till the end. None of them drop. None of them. But here from 80,000, we end up with 300 people. And you remember what I said yesterday? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is about this few, the few. Enthusiasm is mashallah. Like now, a lot of people are screaming. They said, oh, the demonstration are getting weak and weak and weak. That's a human nature. That's why the politicians, they know this stuff. They know people, they are not going to last for a long time. But those few always make the difference. Because it's not about the number. It's not about anything. The victory comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah can give it to those few. So people who wants to drink from the river of the dunya, these people don't rely on them. They can't. That's why in another hadith, one of the prophets, he wants to go for the fight. And if I'm not mistaken, the hadith is in Al-Bukhari. He put a condition for anyone who wants to come with him. He said, anyone who just got married should not come with me. Anyone who just start a business, he should not come with me. Anyone who starts building a house, he should not come with me. Why? Because these people, their mind and heart, it will be somewhere else. Not for the cause that he is going for. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, then when he had crossed it along, now a lot of people drops. So then when he had crossed it along with those who believed with him, they said, there is no power for us today against Goliath and his soldier. Here you go. That's why I'm telling you what's happening today. And people now look, for the last at least 20 years, what's happening. This is filtration. Filtration. The victory is there, no doubt. And that's why I tell people, and I tell myself before I tell anybody, I never talk about victory. I never worry about victory. Because something is guaranteed. But I worry about myself. Can I stay till the end or not? That is the challenge. Can I continue till the end? I don't drop. And there are many ways to drop. Subhanallah. May Allah give us tabat. That's why the Prophet ﷺ used to make this dua a lot until Sayyidah Aisha gets scared. She said, Ya Rasulullah, you are making this dua a lot. You scared me. He said, what? He said, you say, Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Oh Allah, keep my heart firm on your deen. Then the Prophet explained to her, said, Ya Aisha, every heart is between two fingers of the fingers of Allah. And he flipped it the way he wants. Subhanallah. And you can see. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tabat. And al-qalb is called qalb in Arabic because yataqallab, keep changing. That's why you see people today, they love you, tomorrow they don't like you. It is like this. So those people, when they saw Goliaths and this and that, that's it. And we have to know that shaitan works hard. And he makes you see things not in reality. He inflates things and he puts fear inside you and this and that and that. That's it. And you are gone. But those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose to be given this honor, they were few. But look their qualities. And that's why I'm bringing these stories. That's what we need. As individual, as family, as community, as ummah. These qualities that we are looking for. And as I told you, many people you find in their meetings speaking about what we need to do, we want this and that and that. Just worry about yourself. And Work hard and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep you stay on the road till the end. You don't drop. Either you reach the victory or you die on the road. You don't drop. So they said, there is no power for us today against Goliath and his soldier. Khalas. This is the last phase of filtration. That's it. Now we're going to get the juice. And subhanAllah, from 80,000, you end up with 300 people. So it's not the quantity, it's the quality. So they said, those people, look what they said. But those who were certain that they would meet Allah, that is the first quality. They believe that they're going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what does that mean? That they believe they're going to die one day. And death has nothing to do with fight or not. Death has to do with what? Expiration date. When you are in the womb of your mother at the age of 4 months, pregnancy is 4 months, the angel will come and write 4 things. One of them is your expiration date. When you're going to die? By the minute, by the second. That's why the story that we're going to take after this one is the story before this. I don't know if I should inject it today. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said also, أَلَمْ تَرَى إِلَى الَّذِينَ خَرَجُوا مِنْ دِيَارِهِمْ وَهُمْ أُلُوفٌ حَذَرَ الْمَوْتِ فَقَالَ لَهُمُ اللَّهُ مُوتُوا. Verse 243 in Surah Al-Baqarah. Have you not considered those who left their homes in many thousands, fearing death? So they left their homes because they are scared of death. And the scholar said, subhanallah, like what's happening today. The scholar said, what does mean fearing death? 2 meanings. And number one, that their kings asked them to come and fight their enemies. So they said, no, we're not going to fight. So they ran away from the village because they don't want to fight. Because they don't want to die. Another explanation, it says that some pandemic, the plague, happened there. And they want to run away. So they are running away to escape death. Then what happened? فَقَالَ لَهُمُ اللَّهُ مُوتُوا. Allah says to them, die. And they died. So precaution does not help when the qadar is coming. I'm not saying not to take precaution. We are taking precaution. Here is my mask and all this. But inside you, you have to know, if Allah wants something, nobody can stop it. And I told you it happened to me. I take things very serious. But one time somebody came to my house to give me something. I left the house without putting the mask. I forget. Then I said to myself, okay, look, how much precaution and you think you can do with it. Sometimes you can forget. If Allah wants something to happen, you can forget. And it's there. So we take precaution as worship. Allah wants me to do that, I'm doing it. But inside me, I know what will happen to me, only what Allah has decreed on me. That's why there is no room for fear in the heart of the believer. So these people, subhanallah, the first quality, they believe that they're going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I'm going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's it. And to meet Him when my date is over. There is no more second for me to live. Wallahi, one time I was going to just tell you some stories about this. One person, an old man, went to visit an old man in the hospital. They were friends for a long time. And the one in the hospital, that's it. The doctor just said, he's dying. And he asked the family, go prepare his janazah. So his friend come and talk to him and say salam. Even he was not even talking. And he started crying and he left. And guess what? Few days later on, the one who was in the hospital got better And he went and he attended the janazah of the one that he came visited him. You might be surprised, but for a believer there is no surprise. Why? Because the due date, the expiration date is not there yet. And your expiration date comes when there is no rizq for you. As long as you are alive, it means that you have provision left for you. These two, they go together. That's why whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about death, He speaks about spending. Like in this case. Man dhal ladhi, after speaking about death, He said, who can give a loan to Allah? So this is the first quality. But those who were certain that they would meet Allah said, how many a small company has overcome a large company by the permission of Allah? So they know this fact. It's not about the number. And most of the time, throughout the history of Islam, the Muslims, they were never large in number. Always they were few. One time they were large in number, they got defeated because they relied on the number. And this is in the battle of Hunayn. That's why Allah mentioned this battle in the Quran by the name. وَيَوْمَ حُنَيْنٍ إِذْ أَعْجَبَتْكُمْ كَثْرَتُكُمْ فَلَمْ تُغْنِ عَنْكُمْ شَيْئًا وَضَاقَتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْأَرْضُ بِمَا رَحُبَتْ ثُمَّ وَلَّيْتُمْ مُدْبِرِينَ. On the day of Hunayn, where your number impresses you. And the believers start saying, today we are not going to be defeated because we are large in number. And they forget that the victory comes from Allah. And they get defeated. So, these are facts of life that we need to inculcate. These are not theories. These are facts. How many small company has overcome a large company? By permission of Allah. And Allah is with the patience. And subhanAllah, this ingredients is everything. Patience, patience, patience. And a life is like this. Many people, they want this life pain-free. No. Pain-free exists in Al-Jannah, where there is no problem at all. The three things that ruin our life, or we don't like them, they don't exist in Al-Jannah. And number one, old age. There is no old age. 33 years, the best average of a year that you can have. And number two, no sickness. And number three, no death. This life is the opposite. Yani subhanallah. Give me one person who doesn't have a test. Give me one person. You can't. That's why Alexander, this man, he wants to prepare his mother in case something happened to him. She should not be disappointed or shocked or this if he dies or something, because he go to wars everywhere. So he told her, my mother, if I die, please, I want you to invite the whole city and prepare big feast, lot of food, and invite everybody in the city to join you. But put one condition. Anybody who wants to come, he has to have this condition. I want everybody who wants to come that doesn't have no problem in his life or her life. Then the mother said, okay. So one day she heard that he passed away. She did that. How many people showed up? 0. Then the woman, she said, oh, my son was preparing me. So life is like this. That's why the best cure and the best weapon that you can have while you are living is acceptance. Does not mean acceptance you surrender. Acceptance with the heart. You don't resist it. You don't. Why? Why doesn't change anything. It just gives you a headache. It just gives you blocks of your mind. Your mind doesn't work anymore. Your adrenaline and sugar will goes up and nothing. Acceptance, we say, well, alhamdulillah, like the weather. Imagine you want to complain about the weather, it means that all your life is complaining. Hot, cold, this, humid, this. No, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And when you have this attitude of acceptance, what happens, subhanallah, your mind start working in your favor, giving you ideas, giving you solutions, and this and that. So when they went forth to face Goliath and his soldiers, they said, again, if the victory is from Allah, you start asking Him. Is the rizq from Allah? You ask Him. If the cure from Allah, you ask Him. Many times we forget about this. We forget totally. Because shaitan, he wants us to forget about this stuff and we start relying on ourselves. No. I want rizq. Al-Razzaq. I want cure. Al-Shafi. That's why we have these 99 names that you can use. And when they went forth to face Goliath and his soldiers, they said, our Lord, pour upon us patience. They didn't say give us, pour. Depends on the circumstances that you are, how much patience you need. Sometimes you need a lot. You need a lot of patience. And by the way, patience is not how much you're going to wait. That is not patience. True patience is your attitude when you are waiting. Because many people can wait. Because if you don't wait, what are you going to do? But they are waiting why they are irritated and angry. That is not patience. It's better not to be patient, just go and do something else. Patience is you are waiting with a positive attitude. That Allah will find a way for me and things will be better and this and that. Like somebody who cannot sleep during the night. He has two options or she has two options. Either you start cursing the night and this and that and that. And you are not going to bring Fajr before the time. The night has to take its course. Or the other one said, oh, alhamdulillah, Allah gave me this chance maybe. I never made Qiyam al-Layl. I never read Quran at night. Maybe this is my chance. And wallahi, if you do it next day, even if you have to work at 8, wallahi, you don't feel tired. It's the attitude. But if you cannot sleep and you start cursing and angry and so on in the morning, you go to work, you will be lucky if you are not fired because you go with bad mood and so on. أفرغ عنا إلا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا and plant firmly our feet mean give us the courage not to be scared, not to be this and that. That's why in the beginning of the pandemic I said it's normal to be scared from death. To fear death is normal. But what is not normal is to die from fear. There are some people, subhanallah. And these people, they are more dangerous than the virus. The virus is contagious and cowardness and fear is dangerous also. So you want that courage. And give us victory over the disbelieving people. This is their dua. And this is the Muslim always is with Allah. In 2 minutes we're going to close inshallah. So they defeat them by the permission of Allah. And look subhanallah, before Allah talks about the cause, because the cause of the defeat is something else, but Allah put this first. Don't forget when you achieve something to give the credit where it's due. The credit always is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't attribute it to yourself or to anybody. The Quran is teaching us this. فَهَزَمُوهُمْ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ They defeat them by the permission of Allah. Like victory comes from Allah, the defeat comes from Allah also. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the human element in the defeat. فهزموهم بإذن الله وقتل داود جالوت. Dawood killed Goliath. And Dawood at that time, he was not prophet, 15 years old. And he was in the army. And look, subhanallah, when Allah wants to give an honor, I told you yesterday, like these people that they are putting a lot of condition and giving hard time to the prophet, if it was me, I will tell him, I don't need you, get out. But here you're going to do what? You are throwing the baby with the bathtub. You don't do that. There are few people that they are the best. You don't want to sacrifice them. One of them is Dawood. His name was not even mentioned, the whole story. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has something for him. And from this one, Dawood becomes something. And why Dawood killed Goliath? This giant human being that everybody is scared of him is a perception. And that's what I want to leave with you tonight, because we're going to finish the story. Is the perception, how you see things. The same thing, the same circumstances. Somebody see it positive, somebody see it negative. Somebody see it as a difficulty, somebody see it as an opportunity. It's the perception, it's you. So when everybody said, he's so big, we cannot fight him, Dawood says what? Wow, he's so big, I cannot miss him. Because the more the target is big, and you want to shoot, it doesn't take too much from you to hit the target. But when the target is small, that is the challenge. How are you going to hit it? And we know Dawood, he was professional in slingshot, and he killed him. But Allah is giving him that honor. Because from there, Dawood becomes the king after Talut. And it was narrated that he married the daughter of Talut, and he became a king, and he became prophet. And the golden era for the children of Israel is in the time of Dawood. That is their golden era, and his son Sulaiman after that for 70 years. That is the only time in their history that they have power and they were in authority. And the second one is now. And subhanAllah, at that time, that 70 years, was power with piety. Because the leaders are Dawood and Sulaiman. So this is the story that we learn. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about the divine law. That always there will be what? And I want to read this and I will stop. And if it were not for Allah checking some people by means of others, you will not find only one side is always up. You will find this tadafu'. That's what keeps the balance in this life. The earth would have been corrupted, but Allah is possessor of bounty for the world. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as I said, to learn this lesson from this story. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala one thing, that Allah keep us on His path till the end, not to drop. And there are a lot of temptations right there in this life. And it's easy to slip. And no one can say, well, I'm strong. You are not. Once you say, I, be sure that you're going to drop. But always believe that you are poor, and without Allah's help, you can drop. In this case, you are holding to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us. And inshallah tomorrow we start another story. where we learn values and lessons that we can strengthen our faith, and we can learn what to do to stay on the right path until we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.